Okay, so we start from yesterday class. Yesterday we were seeing why we need dynamic memory allocation. So that question we had seen, but I'll repeat one more time. So we already discussed in detail like why we need dynamic memory allocation. So all practical requirement where we don't know the actual size. So if we don't know the actual size, then we need some arrangement to take up those conditions. So what is the those practical side? Consider we want to store some patient information, or consider how many patient will come today, we don't know, or we want to save like how much production will be happen today, or while downloading some movie or some song how much memory is required. So all these are our practical scenario. Or maybe consider if you are having a printer, in the printer some user is printing the some file. In office normally people are printing the one document, two document, or hundreds of file peoples are printing. So it means what? It means like how much data is going to come to the printer. That printer cannot have the in the in the beginning time he cannot decide. He need a memory at the run time. Even the many higher end printer, maybe 10, 20 or 100 user can give simultaneous printing command. Printing happen one by one, but they can give command. Once they give command, it means data is reaching to the printer. So printer need to save all those data. All these requirement are in dynamic in nature. So to solve this dynamic nature, we need a dynamic memory allocation. So all practical requirement are dynamic in nature. So if we actually want to save some dynamic data into memory, we need some arrangement, and that is the dynamic memory allocation. This dynamic memory allocation already Anu is took, and we already seen it. We are having the video for it. Now I am coming to one of the very basic question, and what is call by value and what is call by reference. So like this question is very preliminary, but when I went inside it and I found the few thing, few terminology and few concept. So we will see this today. Today we will not have much program, mostly the theoretically only we will discuss. So hope they are the simple thing, and we'll quickly wind up today. It is in continuation with the last class. So what is call by value and call by reference? We already know call by value means when we are calling function like this. When we are calling function like this, we say this is a call by value. Why? Because the value of variable is actually we are passing. Before we go to understand call by value or call by function, we need to understand two parameter, two terminology, and that terminology is used actual parameter and formal parameter. So the actual parameter, what is actual parameter? Consider this small code of a snippet. Here I am having a main. In the main I am having two variable, and that variable I am passing to the function here a and b. So those two variable I am passing in the function variable a and b. This a and b is called actual parameter. This is the actual parameter which we are passing. But the value of a is copied here into v1 and value of b is copied into v2. This v1 and v2 are called formal parameter. This v1 and v2 is called the formal parameter. So what's the meaning of this? This two term we should know, the actual parameter and formal parameter. Actual parameter is what we are passing, and the formal parameter where we received. So now this variable and this variable, they are separate than this. The a and b are different, and v1 and v2 are different. So this terminology we should know, formal parameter and actual parameter. So like in case of call by value, the value of actual parameter is copied into formal parameter. The value of actual parameter is copied. Value of actual parameter is copied into formal parameter. That is what we had seen here. it means the A is 10, B is 20. So the A 10 is copied into V1, 20 is copied into V2. So in the call by value method, the value of actual parameter is copied into formal parameter. Okay, no problem. The call by value method, we cannot modify the value of actual parameter. What's the meaning of this? Like in this V1 and V2, if we write something, consider if I write here, maybe consider if I write here 25, 24. So this 24 will not going to impact in a V. Why it is happening? Because if you go more deeper into it, then you can directly say, instead of telling this as a formal parameter, we can also term this as a, this two parameter, this V1 and V2 are the local variable for this function. Since they are local variable for this function, whatever we do on this parameter, that will be only available within this function. Out of this function, the whatever we write, this 24, 25, it will be not available in any other place, because this two will be local to him. Same way what we are saying is, currently our point is, in the call by value, we cannot modify the value of actual parameter. It means if we modify anything here, that won't reflect in this side, actual parameter. Okay, which is obvious, normal thing. Third point, in call by value, the different memory is allocated for actual and formal parameters, since value of actual parameter is copied into formal parameter. What's the meaning of this? The meaning of this, these two variable will get the different memory, and these two variable will get the different memory. So basically this variable and this variable are different. They are just having the value, that's all. So it's pretty simple. Hope it is clear. So in case of call by reference, what we do is, in case of call by reference, we pass the address of variable. Like this. So in this function, instead of passing variable, we have to pass the address. So we can pass address like this. Since we are passing the address, so we have to receive into a pointer. So this will be received in the pointer only. We cannot receive directly. So now this is called call by reference. In call by reference, we are passing the address and receiving the address. Here also, in call by reference also, this parameter is a actual parameter, and this V1, V2 are a formal parameter. Now, although now they become the pointer, but then also they are formal parameter, this is actual parameter. This is just a terminology. Okay. So in call by reference, the address of variable is passed into the function as actual parameter. So as a actual parameter, we are passing the address of V1, address of V2. And in the function we receive as a pointer. Like a pointer. If we are passing integer variable, integer address, then we have to receive as integer pointer. If we are passing character address, then we have to receive as a character address. Now the main part here is that pay attention and understand. Now in this case, this V1 and V2, they are the two pointer variable. Here V1 and V2 are the two pointer variable, and they occupy different memory, as we done in a call by value. In call by value what we had done is, in call by value, this A and B and V1, V2 both occupy separate memory. Here also same thing. Here also this variable and this variable occupy separate memory. But the contained, what V1 is contained, V1 contained the address of this, and V2 contained address of this. So this variable is having a separate memory, but the value, the address it contained of this variable. Same way, this is the v2 which is like containing address of something, different variable. So that is what point is written here. V1 and V2 are the pointer variable. They occupy different memory but having the address of actual parameter. So V1 and V2 are formal parameter. They made into a different memory. They occupying different memory, but the content where they are pointing is the same as the actual parameter. Anybody having doubt in this? Okay, great. So now the value of actual parameter, the value of actual parameter can be modified. What's the meaning of this? The meaning of this, if we write some value in v1 v2, if we write some value in v1 v2 with the help of pointer, that will be directly reflect in our main function. So this is the call by value and call by reference. Now here is some advantage, disadvantage and difference. So call by value, call by reference, whenever function is called, it never affect the actual content of the argument. What's the meaning of this? That's a local variable, and whatever we changes in the function, that won't impact in the actual variable. And all the it copied all. This is the main problem in the call by value. It copy all parameter data from actual parameter to formal parameter. It means whatever parameter we are passing, that is actually copied into formal parameter. So since it is copying the parameter, and if we are having a big structure, then it will consume lot of memory. In call by reference, we are not copying all the data. Instead of that, we are just holding the address. Whatever size of address, maybe 8 byte or 10 byte or 6 byte, depend on the system. So only that many byte we are copying, and we are not actually having the data is copied. The function can change with the in this call by reference. Since we are having an address, we can directly go to that address and modify it whatever we want. So this is call by reference. This is simple thing. What is function return type? So any function, programmer is having a liberty to whatever he want, he can return it. In order to return that, we can write a statement like this: return and state. So this the return thing, what we can return? We can return integer, character, integer pointer, character pointer, float pointer, structure pointer, union pointer, function pointer, and maybe any other address or array of character pointer or array of structure pointer or anything. Whatever we want, we can return it from here, no problem. So it's okay. But this question took around 1 hour to me, like around like last 30-40 minutes I am researching this question. So now I am having a proper answer of this. Now what is function declaration, function prototype and function definition? So
Sir,
yes sir.
hello. So one doubt in that return statement.
Sir.
So return, how we can return structure directly?
Yeah, we can return a structure. This state can be a structure.
Okay. Okay. Let me try.
Like how
Okay.
how this can be integer, that say consider this structure is the means maybe type. One second. We can return like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this state become a pointer now, right?
Why? Why pointer?
No, that's inside the structure. There are so many items is there, no?
Yeah,
It's a kind of data.
all will be copied.
All will be.
All will be written and all will be copied wherever we are receiving this function. Abhishek, what you are asking? Like we want to return integer or what?
Hello.
What is
Hello.
your question? Yeah, yeah. What is your question?
So my question is like if we want to return an integer pointer, no? At that time how we call the function?
Okay. You can mute your mic. You want to return integer pointer, so you can return like this. Now you are asking like how to call function. So while calling function, you can say my fun, and here whatever argument you want. If you want any argument, you can put it. If you don't want, don't put. But when it return, it will return pointer. So you have to receive into pointer like that. So while calling function, if you want to pass argument, you can pass here like A, B, C, whatever you want to pass. If you don't want to pass, you remove it. If you want to pass one, you can write one. So like this is different, and how it return, it will return pointer. So this need to receive into some pointer variable. Is that clear or okay? Fine.
Sir,
Yes,
so
sir.
one more thing. We told no structure we are returning.
Mm.
So while receiving, how it receive like pointer,
Say
ptr like.
same like this. So like that we can make a structure. But see, this cannot be a local structure. If it is local structure, we cannot return it because
Oh,
this is going to be die. So, but if it is a global structure, we can return it and we can receive it like that.
right. Right.
Okay. So now this is one of the important question, not important, but I don't know. You may face sometime. I never face it, but they can ask. Somebody can ask you, and they will say, "Hey, you don't know this," like that. I did lot of research in this. I was like spending around 30-40 minutes in this, and then I found out some of the things. So I'll tell you. The question is like while conversation many time we say function prototype, function declaration, function heading, function this. So that like it's not a pretty clear picture to me. I'm not sure about you people, but I was not very much clear like what is this word and where we used. So that I had done some study and then I find out few. I got most of the answer from Stack Overflow. So there I found some proper information. So now see the read this means I'll read the statement. You people try to listen it and do the try to make the some understanding with it, and I'm going to ask the question based on that. So first point, listen carefully. The key difference between function prototype and function definition is function prototype only contained declaration of function, while function definition contained the actual implementation of function. You people also can read this statement. Okay, so who will explain what is function prototype and what is function declaration, function definition? Anyone? Function prototype and function definition.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, the function prototype and function declaration is same, and function definition is different.
No, what I am asking that you answer. Don't answer based on your memory. What I am asking that you say. The difference between function prototype and function definition. Yes. So in function definition, we can write, you see it written here, in function definition we can write the actual content, actual implementation of function in function definition. In function prototype, what Devismita told, we just write what function is. So it may be int, say my fun, it will be integer a. So this will be the function prototype. While the function definition is where we are having the actual implementation of this function. Okay, now read this statement, and I will read for you. You people also read and try to see the function declaration. Yes, sir.
Sir, now you put the function prototype top now. There integer AI is not good, right?
Integer a is not required. Why?
Only integer is required. No? That is AI is the name, right?
No.
That
That is two different method of declaring. I'll come to you little later. First, finish this point. A function declaration tell the compiler about the function name, return type, and parameter. A function definition provide the actual body. So now we are having two things. One is function declaration and function definition. Here also we was having function definition. So here the new term coming, that new term is function declaration and function definition. So can anyone, now Anu, you can say what you were saying. Don't compare. I don't want comparison. I don't want you read from any book and tell. But what this statement is saying.
But sir, hello sir.
Yeah.
Declaration says about that in the next, like when what in our code, what we have to write means what the function name and what the return times we are doing and which parameter we are using in our code, that tells about the declaration function.
Correct. So see, this is the function declaration. This is the function declaration. And function definition, again, this function definition and whatever we discuss here, function definition, both is same. Where what Abhishek is replied, like where the actual implementation of function is there. So in this two statement, it looks function prototype and function declaration is same. Before that, I will answer to Saju. Saju told me like int a is not required. You can do like this also. Even you can do like this also. Why we are using this line is we want to tell to compiler, hey look compiler, we are having one function which is accepting one integer and returning one integer. That is what we want to say. So once we write variable, that also we can do. The meaning of this and that is same. Okay, so with
Sir,
yeah,
sir, you told that in first statement the function definition contains the actual implementation of the function.
yeah,
Down given at function definition provides the actual body of the function.
actual body means you can say actual body. The same thing, only term I copied from two places. That's why.
Means function definition, it will provides the outer picture. It will provide, sir. Means what are the variables we'll be using. Means in int my fun int a you are given function prototype like that. Means in function declaration we will get the complete picture of the program.
Yes.
Like
yes.
if we complete picture means if we take example addition of program.
Yeah, here
this
it is. This is what.
This one what you are showing is complete function declaration.
It's not declaration. This is the function implementation. This is how function is implemented. This is the actual body of my function.
Means this is function declaration.
1 minute. See, two terms we are having here. Function definition you can use. You can say the term function definition.
Okay, sir.
Here also we are having same function definition. So function definition means your actual implementation.
Okay, sir.
And apart from that, two other terms, that is, one is function declaration and function prototype. Both are same as per these two statement.
Means prototype and definition both are same.
As per these two statement, you can read both. You read one time these two statement carefully. I'll give some time. Read one time.
Yes, sir. Means definition and prototype both are same.
It looks like that. Okay.
Yes, yes, sir. Clear, sir.
So from point number 1 and 2, it appears that function prototype and function declaration is same. From point number 1 and 2, it appears that function prototype and function declaration is same. Okay, that is what just now Harsha told. So with this, what we are feeling is function prototype and function declaration is same. So from point number 1 and 2, it appears that function prototype and function declaration is same. But now you see the statement here. Okay, so now you see the all prototype are declaration, but not all declaration are prototype. Anyone can explain this thing? This statement.
Sir, wherever you are declaring a statement, a function, you can call that as a function prototype also. But not all the function prototypes are not the declaration.
No, you explain wrong. Can you read again and explain?
Okay. So all prototypes which are function declarations.
Yes, all prototype are a declaration, but not all declaration is a prototype.
Okay.
What's the meaning of this? A function declaration is any form of line declaring a function ending with the semicolon. I'll repeat, a function declaration is any form of line. You can write any form you want line declaring a function and which is ending with this. That is called function declaration. It means you can write like this. Example is coming below. But the prototype, a prototype is a function declaration where all type of parameter are specified. Now you can see these two examples. So this is a prototype while this is a function declaration. This is also function declaration. This is also function declaration, but it meeting the requirement for prototype. So this is also function declaration, but it is also a prototype of the function, which is telling exactly same thing about the function. But this is a just function declaration. So non-prototype function declaration is a obsolete features that may get removed from C language. Therefore, we should always use the prototype. Anybody having doubt? You can ask. Any question?
Sir, means here only if it's based upon the inputs it make difference.
Not only input output, even this is also function declaration.
Means in bracket braces inside, if we define any int a, int b inputs outputs, or if we don't define in that feature, it make difference. What above statement you given?
See, this is prototype which is telling about the function. You know, like, okay, I'll give you one example. When we I'm not sure you aware of or not, but whenever we are doing producing some in bulk quantity, like laptop, watch, mobile, box, steel material, plastic material, so we first make one prototype. So that prototype is exactly same as the final product.
Okay, sir.
Say if you have to make some maybe plastic box, so you first make the one prototype, and
Okay,
all
sir.
all future plastic box will be height, width, everything will be same. That will be the exact prototype. So here also the prototype means it is a function declaration which is exactly same as the how the my function going to behave it.
Okay, sir.
But function declaration means any just function name in the bracket and then semicolon. This is function declaration. So
Yes, sir.
it may not be representing the actual input output of the function.
Okay, sir. Clear, sir.
Anybody else?